We are back with another Dragon Ball Legends video, and today we're gonna just be taking it easy today. We have a brand new Legends team newsletter that just released actually seemingly today, with some brand new news covering the massive update that Legends has been teasing for a while now. Seems like you're getting pretty damn close to it. I don't even really remember exactly if we got an actual release window. I'd imagine before 7th anniversary, but we shall see. Maybe this might actually, elaborate on that. We shall see, but I'm curious to see exactly what they're talking about. I'm gonna be honest, I did start reading this, but I kind of stopped before I got to the actual big stuff that they were, I guess, planning to talk about. But I will read through this parts I already did read through, so I just thought might as well just make a video on this, because again, I am actually really looking forward to this update, because depending what they do with this update, it could really change how the game is in general, how it's viewed, how it's played, just a lot of things. And especially for 7th anniversary, if they're able to actually implement this update beforehand, 7th anniversary could be very, very special indeed. They've already been hyping it up like crazy. Hopefully it actually is as crazy as they are talking about, so we shall see. So thank you for your continued support of Dragon Ball Legends. As always, I'll always continue to support Dragon Ball Legends as long as I enjoy the game, which right now I am actually. So, you're lucky, Toshi and Tani, all right? Dragon Ball Legends will be celebrating its 7th anniversary this year in May. To make this special year as exciting as possible, as well to ensure Legends can be played and enjoyed for many more years to come, we are currently hard at work on a massive version update, as I said earlier. Here we will explain some of the challenges that Legends is facing with regard to character abilities and the effects that those abilities have on the battle experience. So this is when I started reading. I was like, hold up, wait a minute, hold up. This is gonna be quite good actually, So objective: to make character abilities easier to understand and to return to battles where a variety of elements and distinct character abilities are viable. If they manage to execute this properly, this will be such a good change for the game. I really do miss the times in the game where you would build a team and you would actually build a team trying to craft the best overall complete team you could possibly make to be ready for any scenario, instead of just building, okay, I'm gonna just have my 3 characters and then bench just to buff them up. Back in the day, you had to be prepared for anything. You'd have a full team with every typing available to you, while also trying to make the Z abilities work well with each other, and you just bring whatever 3 characters you decided will be best for whatever matchup you had. It was fun. It was fun, and it would bring a lot more variety to the meta and all of that. You wouldn't know exactly for certain what 3 characters your opponent's gonna bring, so at that point it would kind of reduce the amount of times you would fight the same 3 characters over and over and over again in PvP. It definitely still happened depending on how good the 3 characters that people were running in PvP were at that time, but you would have more variety back in the day and stuff. So I'm saying this like I'm a massive old head. I mean, I have been playing the game for a while now, but you know what I mean. There was a lot more variety back in the day, and definitely nowadays, there definitely isn't as much. The variety, I guess, more so lies in the teams that are being ran in the meta, but even right now, Daima is the main team being ran as of right now. I'll say the meta isn't really too bad right now, because you've got Daima, you've got Future, you've got, I guess, Vegeta Clan, actually, you've got Hybrid Saiyans, you got those teams at least that are being used right now, but we could use a little bit more variety. We definitely could use a bit more for sure. Anyways, current challenges. Since release, we have introduced many different characters in order to deliver unique gameplay experiences. However, a large number of characters have abilities that are too broad and has damaged the original appeal of Legends battle experience. In this notice, we will explain the 3 major issues we have identified and the ways in which we plan to address them. A lot of information will be covered, but we hope you'll read through it when you have the time. You are asking a lot of us Dragon Ball fans, but you know what? I'm the exception. I am the honored one. Let's go. All right, this is the part that I didn't read whatsoever, so I actually don't know what specific 3 abilities they're talking about. I do see, though, in past PvP metas, Arts Card Draw Speed Up was a distinctive ability usually given to characters who demonstrated strong combo abilities in the original series. On the other hand, tag regeneration characters would have abundant ways to restore their health. In other words, each character had distinct characteristics. Yes, and I did appreciate that. It was cool because with whatever character came out, you kind of knew what to expect from them. And kind of still now, but definitely not as much for sure. And it just, I don't know. I mean, I will say this year they've done an actual decent job at kind of differentiating each character. Like, each character serves a different purpose. They kind of play differently. It wasn't like last year. Like, last year, it definitely felt like a lot of characters kind of just played very similarly to each other. And the design, each character design wasn't really the most variable, I guess. Like, it wasn't really the most unique designs ever and stuff. I don't know. Like, they weren't like the worst ever, but they definitely weren't the greatest ever. I don't know. I just feel like they kind of sacrifice a bit of variety and uniqueness to character designs just for the sake of making them good. Which, I mean, fair enough, you gotta make the characters good, but you can also come up with a better way to execute that desire, I guess. So, you know, that is definitely something that has definitely been long gone now for a little bit now in Legends, but this year they've been doing a decent enough job. But okay, I'm hearing you out. As more and more characters have been added, the number of characters at any given ability has increased. As a result, characters have become more and more homogeneous, making their individual characteristics harder to grasp. Exactly, yes. Another example of this is element disadvantage nullification for sustained damage. Type defensive neutral, which were only given to a select few units at first. Over time, many characters started getting these effects, making it hard to enjoy element-based strat. Okay, no, I do get that. Okay. I mean, yeah, because a lot of characters nowadays, pretty much almost every character in the game right now, every new release nowadays always has some form of defensive neutral. Which at that point, it kind of does, like, it makes you wonder, what's the point of even having type advantage over your opponent? Now, obviously, characters with defensive neutral is usually only for like the first couple timer counts when they enter the battlefield, or it's only for like the beginning portions of a match or whatnot. It's not there are a few characters that do have it as like a permanent effect, but it's usually when a condition is met. It's never a thing that they actually just start off with. So I do get that though, because then at that point it does kind of like, it begs the question, why even bother having type advantage anyways when I'm gonna be doing type neutral damage to you regardless? So it doesn't even matter. Why would I want to have my blue character versus your defensive neutral red when my green character could be doing just as much damage versus you? Like, it doesn't really matter whatsoever, you know? So like, I do get that because then it kind of kills the purpose of wanting to have type advantage. And, you know, kind of trying to think beforehand and trying to think ahead before the match starts, like what characters to bring, and okay, I should swap into this character to have advantage over them, when in reality, like, it does matter, but definitely doesn't matter as much as it should. It definitely devalues element factors to an extent. So I do get that concern 100% for sure. Increasing characters a high combo power. Same issue as a card with special cover change nullification and draw speed up effects. Yep. Yeah, definitely, man. With combo capabilities continuously on the rise, matches often devolve into one-sided affairs where one player is on the receiving end of a lengthy combo. You don't say, man. You don't say. So you can probably recall times when you only could watch helplessly after a single mistake led to a long combo that eventually destroyed your entire party. Currently, there are few opportunities to switch from defense to offense and vice versa. This has damaged the play experience in battles. Yeah, oh my god, bro. Literally the Legends Fest meta. Not even just the Legends Fest meta. I mean, technically even the meta now, but it's not as... Okay, luckily right now we're fighting a lot of Daima teams, and Daima isn't really built like that. But before Daima, especially with transforming Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Majin Vegeta, bro, especially Super Saiyan 3 Goku, obviously. He's the #1 character that they're definitely alluding to in this post for sure. And also Vegito Blue. Don't think they're not going to address Vegito Blue as well. But more so Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Because not only can he just keep a combo going for so damn long and just be constantly killing your characters, one mistake could just easily cost you the game. But it's also the fact that you almost had no way to disrupt him The only way you could disrupt him was with characters like Majin Vegeta or Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, who unfortunately, for that meta, since Majin Vegeta was so relevant, and Beast Gohan as well, there were so many top tier yellows, you wouldn't even be using a character like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. So like at that point, it was really only Majin Vegeta that you would actually use to try and stop combos if your opponent had a blast card. If your opponent didn't have a blast card, you wouldn't be stopping their combo unless they run out of cover null. But it's so easy for like a character like Super Saiyan 3 Goku to just get cover null and just keep the combo going so like safely. Like it was very bad. It was very bad. Luckily, I kind of avoided having too much playtime in that meta because that's when I was kind of taking a little bit of a break for the last 2 months. But I did experience a little bit of it, and I did see a lot of people talk about it while I was gone. So yeah, that is definitely a big concern for sure. I mean, heck, even during Legends Festival when Vegito Blue initially came out and then Super Saiyan 3 Goku initially came out, like that was not really the most fun meta ever. It definitely was not the most fun meta ever. I despise it. I did despise it, and for this exact reason. You would just make one mistake and you just it could cost you the entire match, genuinely. Vice versa, you know. So like it was not healthy whatsoever. But I'm glad that they actually like are addressing that for sure. And then increase in complexity and length of character abilities. Ooh, okay. Another result of single characters having such a wide variety of abilities is that the text of abilities has gotten quite long and difficult to understand. I mean, yeah, we are Dragon Ball fans at the end of the day, so I get it. I get the concern. The conditions for activating abilities as well have only been getting more complex. Have they? I mean, I guess. I can see that, I guess. But I mean, I don't think they've been too complex, but I guess. Let me hear them out, though. They are difficult to parse for players who just started, but we expect they are also difficult for veteran players, too. Okay. We consider the cause of both this issue and the aforementioned homogenization to the individual characters having too many abilities. The following sequence has contributed to this. Combo capabilities increase due to special cover change nullification, draw speed up, and etc. Hand destruction, key reduction, and other disruption effects increase to combat those combo capabilities as well. That was also another thing. And that was something that even affected Vegito Blue as well. And the reason why Super Saiyan 3 Goku is being used so much was because of the fact that just almost literally every character nowadays in the meta has some form of disrupt. And at that point, like, you just can't combo. It feels like you're only ever able to get like maybe 2 to 3 cards at a time, and you're not even able to combo that long, you know. Like, it's just how it was. And even the same thing with like, you know, counter unique gauges and stuff like Majin Vegeta, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Like, you'd only be able to get a couple cards in before eventually your combo would be stopped anyways. And especially with a character like Majin Vegeta, you'd end up getting punished for having to use a blast card, and then you just lose off of that potentially, you know. Like I get why they did all that, because, you know, like, characters are just getting way too powerful, way too oppressive, and they had to find a way to balance it. But it kind of became too much. It became too much, and at that point the tables kind of flipped, you know. Now defense is just way too much, and now we need more offense, and then they got to scale up the offense more, and then eventually they got to scale up the defense more. It's just a constant never-ending chain of, like, you know, a back and forth, just, you know, like, one-up battle, you know, one-up situation. Like, like the oppressive side is trying to one-up the defensive abilities, but then the defensive side is trying to one-up the offensive side, and it's like like, I get it, man. Like, it's not easy whatsoever. It really isn't. Hand destruction nullification, key reduction nullification, attribute downgrade nullification, and similar effects increase to combat those disruption effects as well. Another factor contributing to this is initially we had set a limit of 70% for sustained damage cut effects when deciding character abilities. This was done to avoid possible confusions about all damage being reduced to 0 if damage cut effects were to exceed 100%. That makes sense. So how sustained damage cut works: sustained damage cut effects cancel out the enemy's inflicted damage up effects. Even if sustained damage cut were to exceed 100%, this would not make all damage received 0. Gotcha, okay. So essentially, yeah, a character that has 70% reduced damage received, they're going to be cutting 70% of the opposing character's damage inflicted, essentially. So, like, if a character were to have like 200% damage inflicted, even if a character were to have 100% sustained damage cut, they would be cutting off half of their damage inflicted, but not the entirety of it. So they still take quite a bit of damage. So it makes sense. It makes, okay, that actually makes a lot more sense. I didn't know exactly that's how it worked. I guess, to be fair, it makes sense though why a character like I mean, to be fair, I know Super Saiyan 4 Goku doesn't have the highest defensive stats ever, but like 70% sustained damage cut on top of 10% reduced damage received from impact damage, explosion damage, and like, you know, like stuff like that. Like, you would think he would be decently defensive, and he's not really decently defensive at all. He can get killed pretty easily. So, okay, that definitely makes a lot more sense. I actually did not know that's how it exactly worked out. Okay. To prevent confusion, we intend to stay under the limit by maintaining defensive abilities with hand destruction and recovery effects instead of more damage cut effects. Okay, interesting. Addressing these issues, we plan to gradually implement the following improvements to these issues. Adjustments to combos incorporating steps. Oh, are they gonna... Okay, hold up. Card draw speed and key recovery are reduced during step combos, so essentially charge stepping combos. But in order to prevent excessive comboing, increasing that reduction amount is being considered. Okay. Adjustments to activation timing and length of special cover change notification. Recent characters have been recently released or already been released with these balance changes in mind. We plan to avoid giving future characters excessive amounts of special cover change notification. Specific example, Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta only gets 5 counts of cover nullification. Okay, I see. The special cover change notification effect will not be discarded. We will continue making adjustments in order to create metas where special cover changes can be used more effectively. And that's good, because why give characters special cover changes when almost every character in the meta cancels cover changes? And I'm glad the Super Saiyan 4 Goku works the way he is, and I definitely get why they did it for sure, because if he didn't cancel buff effects, like, the Daima team will be cooked, you know? Like, we needed a character to really actually make cover changes viable again. Now, obviously, there are still ways you can get around special cover changes. You just don't use a strike or blast, or you just drop combo, but not all the time it's going to work out for you. And, you know, a lot of players are also still in the phase of getting used to that ability from Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and only more characters are probably going to have abilities like that. So it's definitely something we're going to have to get used to for sure, I'd imagine. But yeah, so that definitely makes sense. So they've already been releasing characters with this update in mind. I mean, it makes sense for sure, but interesting. Okay, very, very interesting indeed. Adjustments to length and activation opportunities for element disadvantage nullification. Oh, defensive neutral. We consider a variety of factors when deciding the element of a new character, but one of the most important is whether specific parts need a given element. However, element disadvantage nullification has been increasingly used as a way to ensure characters have competitive abilities, as if the meta, when they are released, features characters they have an element disadvantage against. Examples of characters released in unfavorable metas would be Super Saiyan God Goku or Omega Shenron. Oh yeah. Yeah, because obviously purple characters are just like, yeah, like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, like Ultimate Gohan were just super crazy at that point. Yeah, they were very relevant at that time. Okay, yeah. In order to emphasize the fun of building teams around elements, we intend to reduce the length and opportunities to activate defensive neutral. Instead, we will adjust more fundamental abilities like inflicted damage increases or sustained damage reduction to balance characters. Gotcha, okay. Adjustments to disruption and recovery abilities. The limit on sustained damage cut effects was one of the causes for the increase in disruption and recovery abilities, and so it has been removed. Damage cut effects will now be called damage guard. No changes will be made to how they function. Okay, so they're just gonna be changing to the damage guard. Okay, we plan to gradually reduce excessive disruption and recovery abilities in future characters, making up for the difference with more fundamental abilities. Thank you. Specific example, where reduced ki by 40 would have been considered previously, the character will instead just get reduced ki by 20 and higher damage guard values. Okay, I get that. Because again, you don't want to completely kill, like, your opponent's, like, will to play by just not allowing them to play the game. You still want them to be able to do something. Now, obviously, you know, maybe chill out a little bit, you know, take it down a notch, but like, you still don't want to just completely ruin their fun by just not allowing them to play the game because, oh, I got one card in, but my key got reduced, or my card cost got raised, or my cards have been obscured, and then I accidentally clicked the wrong card, and now I'm screwed, or like, my cards got sealed, or whatnot, you know, like, I get that for sure, you know, I do get that for sure. Starting in April, characters will have greatly increased values for effects like inflicted damage up and damage guard, previously sustained damage cut, but their overall power will not be drastically stronger compared to existing characters. Okay, so whatever the next character we're gonna get for this next month, we're probably gonna be seeing quite a bit of damage inflicted and I guess damage guard now, sustained damage cut, whatever you want to call it. But I guess they're gonna try and not make him that much crazier compared to the rest of the game. But okay, we'll see. And then revisions to ability text. Ability text has become so lengthy that it becomes hard to understand, so we will be addressing that issue. With the goal of making abilities of future characters easier to read and understand, we are revising the rules for ability text. We'll also be moving accessory explanatory text to the in-game help. Okay. Before, apply buff effect to nullify enemy special cover changes to activate when changing cover to sell for 3 counts. After, nullify special cover changes 3 counts. Thank you. I actually really didn't. I really did despise whenever they would do this. Like, I would always just say, okay, cover null for 3 counts. Boom. Done. Like, now is way more specific. Like, they definitely did not need to have apply buff effect. Nullify enemy special actions to activate when changing cover. Like, we get it. We know what it is, game. We know what it is, man. Just nullify special cover changes. Thank you. 3 counts. Cool. Boom. Done. What the hell did I just open? And those are all the adjustments currently planned. We will begin to apply them to characters being released in April 2025, and the number of complexity of abilities will be reduced gradually over an extended period of time. Okay. So obviously it's not like, okay, wait. We're doing this gradually to prevent newer characters from being unable to compete against those released before April. In the current meta, if you were to build a party around a character who is given 200% damage guard in exchange for having little to no combo stopping capability, it is possible you would never be able to stop your opponent's combo. We'd expect you to simply lose after spending 180 counts being comboed by your opponent. Yeah. We are making adjustments with the overall meta in mind to ensure characters are not weaker because the number of abilities have been reduced. That makes sense, yeah. Ultimately, our goal is to make character abilities easier to understand and to return to battles where a variety of elements and distinct character abilities are viable. We do not intend to make a game where characters compete using only their base stats. So in conclusion, with each new character release, abilities have gotten longer and more complex. As Legends celebrates its 7th anniversary, we're working hard to address this issue and make Legends battles more exciting than ever. Our goal is to make character abilities easier to understand and return to battles with a variety of elements and distinct character abilities are viable. We fully understand that this will put a lot of pressure on you, our players, as you adjust to these new changes, but we hope that you can make up for it by delivering new and better battle experiences. We humbly ask for your patience and understanding. As always, we hope you continue to enjoy Dragon Ball Legends Toshi and Tani. Man, anyways, alright, yeah, okay, they addressed a lot. So essentially, starting this next month, we're going to be seeing a drastic change in how characters are structured. At least new releases, because they're not going to be able to change existing characters at this point. The damage has already been dealt. They're going to be trying to kind of slowly fix the issue as time goes on. So yeah, it makes sense. And this 100% makes sense. You could give a character like the highest amount of sustained damage cut ever, or damage guard in this case now is what's going to be referred to. But if you have a character like Transforming Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and there's no disrupt whatsoever versus that character, you can still one combo that character. It's possible. It is genuinely possible because it's just like, it's just how it is, man. It is how it is. So like, we'll see how they structure characters moving forward. I'm going to be very curious to see, but I'm looking forward to the changes that they mentioned, and I 100% agree with all the problems that they have kind of caused because of these abilities they've introduced and stuff. Again, I'd imagine this big update or whatnot that they're making probably is going to come out maybe sometime. I'd imagine maybe in May, actually. I think more so in May, probably before anniversary starts, I'd imagine. Regardless, let me know what you guys think about all the changes. Do you guys agree with the changes? Do you like the sound of them, or do you have your disagreements and do you have your concerns? With that being said, hope you all enjoyed this little update video, and I will be seeing y'all in the next one. Peace out. Have a great one, y'all.